We had to bring him into the studio today. This man has just dropped easily the best collaborative album at the best time on the continent. Put in some really, really good work for it to come about. Yesterday he had quite a listening party. I was on Instagram at like around 11:30 and I'm just seeing everybody at the Alchemist. And I'm just like, okay. FOMO. But more importantly, I'm a focused man. You see what I did there?
Yes, I see you.
I was like, I got him in the studio in the morning, so we get to have a really dope conversation about music. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I am halfway asleep, halfway awake.
Yeah.
But I'm focused.
You're focused.
Fully.
I like it. First and foremost, congratulations. I know this has been something you've been working on for a hot minute.
Yes.
So, a lot of people talk about doing projects and never really do them, right?
Absolutely.
So for you to actually do it and drop it in December, I love how well planned you are. You've got, you've got the tours that you're doing.
Yes.
You've been doing, right?
Yes.
You've got the album, you're about to, get into it.
Yes.
Then you've got this whole massive New Year thing.
Yes, yes, it's working, man. We're working out here, man. It's been a blessing of a year being able to put together some of these things, and it is not easy.
Yes,
I would not advise anybody to just wake up and try and do this thing. You got to be passionate about what you're doing and be authentic about what you feel. Because you're gonna have a lot of challenges, setbacks, and everything. And if you're not truly all the way passionate about it, or you're just doing it for the look, you will give up.
You will.
You will give up.
Bro, it's an industry that's super cutthroat.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Now, I'm going to start with this part of the project, right? So I've listened to all of the 10 tracks. I've picked out my favorite. I'll let you know by the end of the interview.
Sure.
But I had to start with Dimension, right? Because as I was telling you off the mic, Dimension... Literally, when I look at the radio topography, right, and the clubs, everyone's been playing this.
It's crazy.
Song. Tell me, I know you and Bien have a very special relationship. Of course, you guys have done wonders together, right?
Yeah.
But how did this song come to be about?
So it was 2 years ago when I sent him and actually the rest of the guys the track.
Yeah.
And everybody was like too busy about it and everything. Just the same way with all the other songs on the project, where it's literally taking me 4 years to put this album together. And a lot of that is you send people tracks. Every artist is always busy with their projects and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think it was last December, exactly a year ago when I landed, met up with Bien. I was like, bro, you gotta do this record. I was bugging him for that and everything. And I've known him for, I think, 8 years when I took them first for their US tour, and everything. And so he was like, cool, let's do it. Even from the time that the track was complete, I knew he was the right fit and for the record. So he does the record. We didn't get to do it till end of January, right? A month later, end of January. But immediately I started promoting it at my events. So when I was hosting events, before even the track was mixed and mastered, I'm playing the song in front of crowds and be like, this is my new song, it's upcoming, it's coming, tag Bien, and all these different things. So the fans who are there at the end of my DJ set, they're like, oh, this is new, this is different. They get to feel something exclusive.
Because I'm now trying to remember whether you played it at the High Life. No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. It wasn't done then. It wasn't out yet.
But I know you played it somewhere. After.
Yeah, it was like instead my Gardens and Karen. I played it over there. People started tagging and everything.
Oh, you had the first experience over there.
Yeah. Because I've had like about 4. Well, I've done 10 events this year.
Yeah.
Half of them have been at Alchemist. The other half was like all over Junction Mall and all these different places. Yeah. So anytime there was that crowd, I was like, anytime I have an audience, test it, fill it out, fill it out and everything. Even some of the other songs before they're done, because at the end of the day, you're creating music for the people.
Yeah.
And so there's one way it could sound in the studio, and then there's another way of how it sounds in the crowd. So even from that, I could be like, oh, actually, I need to tweak this, tweak that, tweak this. So I did that, and then next thing you know, I was playing at a gig in Alchemist. I was like, let's tape this moment. I'll call Bien, get on stage and everything. And when he got on stage, I played that song like 5 times, like 6 times. And by the 5th time, people are singing that song. I was like, we got a hit. We gotta hit. They're singing it.
Certified.
You see what I'm saying? And everything is very hooky. But it doesn't stop there because, fast forward to, I think like a few weeks later, we shot the visualizer and we're done. I spent a couple, like 2-3 months where I was going to every club on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, like 4 clubs a night, and go to the DJ booth. Yo, can you play my song? Play my song. And a lot of these DJs, they know me and everything, but I was working it.
I love the fact that you've said that. A lot of DJs know you, right? And they're like, that's him.
Right.
He's already made it, right?
Yeah, right.
Touring all
Right.
over. But I want to focus on that element of hard work, right?
Absolutely.
You didn't just rely on the fact that, I'm fully focused.
Absolutely.
The song's just going to be played.
Absolutely.
You literally, that reminds me of like, when like labels back in the day had street teams?
Yeah.
Yeah? Before like Spotify
exactly,
and everything.
exactly.
You were on the ground seeding it.
You know what I mean? And I'm from that school. I'm from that grinding, kind of thing and everything. So even when this song came out, I worked it. Even that, shout out to me, and even he mentioned in an interview, he was like, he gives me all the credit for that because he saw me working it. Literally I would pop in 4 clubs in a night. I'd go spend there, and I'm by myself. I didn't have like a team or anything like that. It was me, go to the DJ booth, whatever, make sure they played, take a clip, go to the next club, do that. 3-4 nights like that for like a couple of months. Then I get on TikTok. I'd make like 7-8 TikToks about the same thing. Some are getting 2 views, some are getting 3 views and everything. Some are getting no views, no likes, no nothing and everything. But I'm making them. I'm making as many different variations of TikToks, and same thing for reels and everything, to where something will catch on, and eventually it did.
Man, Yashinsky. Yashinsky's that guy you don't even find on WhatsApp, eh? My man is not on WhatsApp. You gotta text him. Or when I catch up with him in the gym in the morning, or when I meet his wife in the gym, I'm like, could you tell your man to actually text me back? And then, of course, you've got Figfa Maker, who's actually blowing up.
He's major in Uganda.
Major.
Major.
And, of course, Vanessa, right? So, of course, Vanessa spending more time in the US.
Yes.
You spent quite a bit of time over there.
Yes.
But like you said, 4 years in the making. At what particular point did she send you her verse? Because she's just become a mom as well.
I know. No. This is like, I think it's 3 years ago now.
Oh,
yeah,
that's when she sent it.
Yeah, like the song. This song was we did in like 2019, 2020. Man, it was around that time. And again, I'm very persistent in pursuing people. One, I wanted a song because I felt there was no song that was a nice East African collaboration, specifically Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. And from the time I even got the track done, I was like with another producer called Nassim in Kampala. Shout out to him. Who, by the way, I had to drive like an hour into the Bundus to find his studio.
Bro.
One day I was on the way to meet one producer. The guy wasn't picking up the call, and I'm in Kampala. I'm like, who else is a hot producer? I started looking at all the hot songs, who's making them, and I saw his name. I called somebody, and they're like, yo, he lives over there. And I had to drive somewhere, like even with a piki somewhere deep in whatever it is, off-road and everything. We made a couple of tracks. At the end of it, this was one of them. Wow. And then after that, now I started looking for by the way, when I was out there in Kampala, there was a new upcoming artist who had come to soundcheck at the gig I was playing. He wasn't known there. Nobody was paying attention. That was Figfa Maker. A year or so later, he was like massive and everything. And then Nyash, I've known him for a couple of years, done some things with him in the US and out here and everything. So I knew that, and I've always been a fan of his music, and I was like, he's the right person, he's the right fit for this. So pursued him, and he was down to make it happen. And then Vanessa Mdee, it just so happens that she was being managed by Shaka Zulu, who is Ludacris's manager, who happened to be my business partner in a venture we were doing with the festival at that time. So everything I have done is based on relationships, but the biggest thing I'll always say is the easiest way to build relationships is to give value to people. Everybody always reaches out into give me. No, you give first. You give first. So show people that you support them and you're down for them. Believe in them before it's convenient to believe in them. Believe in them before everybody else believes in them. Do that, and then they'll remember that, because they get a lot of no's, and the few people who say yes to them, when they start blowing up, they're the when you ask them for something, they're like, anytime.
100%. I like that. Now you've got another collaboration. Huh?
Yes.
I want to get into this song right here. Song called Container, right? Where'd you get AY? Shagana AY, man, my OG. You know, one thing I love about AY is he's one of those very humble guys.
Yeah.
You talk to him, he sits, he listens, drinks his Heineken, no story,
chill guy. Very chill.
Very chill.
Yeah.
And you know, he's like, you know, I keep telling guys, right? A couple of months ago, I was in Tanzania. AY came to the hotel just to kick it with me, right? And he was explaining to me the journey of who Diamond is, right? You know, Diamond wouldn't be as big as Diamond as he is if it wasn't for AY.
Interesting.
Right? So the remix for Zigo, that really put him on the map, right?
Yeah.
And Diamond's manager used to be Who's Boy Fast? AY. So AY was like, listen, you can have this guy to manage you.
Interesting.
And so
was it Salam?
Salam, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You know, Salam and AY are mad boys.
Okay,
so
dope.
that's how the whole relationship, like the OG given to.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that's fire.
Mad.
That's love, and that's the beauty about this. You know, anything in entertainment business and everything, it's always showing love to the next generation and everything, because everybody will have their moment, right? And you maximize your moment, but then it's like you're not gonna stay at the top forever. So you always have to be like, how do I maintain and maximize these relationships and help other people along their journey? Because whoever's supposed to be a star is gonna be a star with or without you. And so the best thing you can do is be somebody who they say, yo, he helped me out, as opposed to he tried to block me.
100%. So let's get into this one. Tell me about this. I've already listened to it, right? Container.
Yes.
What was the idea behind this? Because I'm a tad bit confused. At some point I was like, does he mean like a container, 40 foot, 20 foot? You know, there's so many meanings in there.
There's meanings behind
Meanings. You know, I come from that era of Kasuku containers. You know, it was used in so many African homes. So I guess in this particular song, we're referring to Kasuku containers and all of those.
We're not referring to Kasuku container.
It's not that. If you know, you know.
There you go. That's all.
There you go. That's all.
That's all you need to say about that.
Yeah, man. Super applicable in so many ways. But this one's definitely going to be on your playlist. So this one, brand new, one of the major ones. So tell me about this. You've got Slap D. What a name, first and foremost.
I know, right?
Right?
Yeah, massive artist out of Zambia. Big artist. So again, with the project, I wanted to highlight artists who are already big in their regions that may not be known, you know, outside. Just the same way we just mentioned Fik for Mike. A lot of people, if you haven't been to Uganda, you don't know. There's some people who haven't been to Kenya, they may not know how big Nyash or Bien is and everything. But I want them to be known out there as much as possible. So same thing for Slap D, dope rapper, you know, out of Zambia, doing amazing things out there. And yeah, man, just that's the thing, man. You just want to highlight as many different regions as possible. And you never know who's going to be the next big one. You know what I mean?
Like this next one, we're about to get into a song called Longwa. For me, it's biased.
Yeah.
Right?
Why is it biased?
So part of me is from Congo.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
So you just hear it and you're already like, you know, your hands moving already.
Yes.
You're just like, where did you get this guy?
So over the years, I've been doing these Major Lazer mixtapes. Africa is the future.
Okay.
I curate and produce all those Afrobeats projects. And as I've been putting music out, one of my things was about, again, same thing, finding who are the next big artists that people need to know about and put them, not just playing the same top 5, you know, Afrobeat songs that everybody knows. I'd really research across Africa. And when it comes to, you know, Congo/France, there was this guy called, you know, Yaleviso popping up, and, you know, he had some dope records, you know, that were doing very well. You know, ladies love him a lot and that kind of thing. He has actually one of the big records called Kadzo.
Kadzo.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, for the French speaking market. So, you know, we just, you know, kind of reached out. I kind of reached out, whatever it is, then, you know, through social media, reach out. We started connecting. This is like 2 years ago, you know, and everything. And I told him I was working on this project and I'd love for him to be a part of it. And it was like 2 songs we did. One didn't work out. And then this one is the one that, you know, kind of came out and
because what I like about him, of course, you know, growing up listening to Lingala and all of that, right? He's got a very different sound to it.
Absolutely.
Like, could you explain what he's trying to do? Because, I mean, you've been around him.
For sure. So his is a very sensual, very romantic, kind of vibe, kind of feel and everything.
Yeah.
And as you know, with Congolese music, you have two types. You have the really high energy, the coupe de Calais and the Lingala and Dombolos and everything.
Yeah.
And then you have a little bit of zouk-ish and kind of...
Fali.
Yeah, exactly. So it's that, but with a new age kind of vibe.
Yes. So it's a very clear distinction. Old guys would, high energy, 7-minute tracks.
Yes.
This new cuts are, very melodious.
Very, very, yeah.
Trace FM fast with the hits. We're getting into the biggest album that's out today, African Ambassador. Yeah, man. Literally so fresh. I was on YouTube in the morning and I'm seeing this has dropped. But what other radio station can do that? Get the man who's just dropped the Sickest project to be in the studio.
Exclusive vibes.
Exclusive business. Now, one thing about that song, right? Towards the end, he changes up.
Yes, he starts.
I noticed that.
Yes, he starts
it's a bit faster.
It's a flow and everything.
Yeah.
I love what the young artists are doing now. They're breaking rules. You know what I mean? Before it was like, you're a singer, you just sing.
You just
you're a rapper, you just rap. But it's like, if the vibe is there, if the flow is there, why not? You do whatever it is, as long as it flows. That's what it is, man.
Now we're about to get into the next one, right? So when I write my list about an album,
yeah,
I'll definitely write, I'll give my, back in the day, Source 5-star kind of thing.
Yeah.
This one's got a couple of stars. Kwame Eugene. Now, I didn't know about Kwame Eugene up until Teo put me on to Kwame, right? And I was just like, oh, okay, he's got something.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind another one?
Yeah. So Kwame Eugene is one of the biggest artists out of Ghana.
Yes.
He's actually even on the CK song Love No Titi, the remix or whatever that was big. I was playing in Ghana about 5 years ago, and the club I was playing for is called Twist. It's the club where everybody goes afterwards. It's the main one, whatever. So the owner of the club happened to be a friend of mine who I'd met in Atlanta a few years back, and I was like, man, I'm out here. I need to work with some people or whatever it is, and he put me in contact with Kwame. And I already had been playing some of his songs before. Again, because of researching over the years, I know who's you know what I mean. That's the beauty about expanding your music palette and not being so constrained to just what everybody else is listening to. So I was like, all right, cool, that's it. So sent him the track, worked on this track with Saint P. Shout out to Saint P, my dog. So he did a version. And again, because it was a while back, the original version sounded completely different. But as we came into now this year and releasing and everything, I was like, let's update the sound to give it the more current Afrobeat sound. And this is where we came with another one. It's just a club vibe banger, and I think people are gonna love it.
It's a dope one. All right, so like I said, man, exclusive business right here. We're chopping up the whole album. I agree. That sounded very, very updated. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, man.
Now, we've been talking about the whole album and everything, but I want to throw it back real quick.
Okay.
So how'd you get into production? Of course, production, music, DJing. I keep telling guys, right? Some of the best producers are actually very good DJs.
Absolutely.
Like the other day, Manny Fresh was in town, right? And everyone's like, I was telling my guys, I'm like, bro, I'm going to see Manny Fresh DJ. And guys are like, what do you mean? And I'm like, bro, think about it.
Yeah. Actually, most of them start as DJs and then become producers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, when you look at a couple years, but what's Will Smith's DJ called? Jazzy Jeff, right?
Yeah.
Bro, he was here some time back. My God, I think I must have shed tears. Bro, so some of, because you already understand music and everything. So how'd you get into it?
I'm telling you, it's the same path. Dr. Dre started as a DJ. Swiss Beats started as a DJ.
True.
Lil Jon started as a DJ.
Yeah.
Manny Fresh started DJ. Many of them have been DJs, because what happens is you're playing music in front of crowds, and then you get to understand something called crowd psychology. This is what moves people. This is what vibes. Like you spend so many years in front of crowds, and you're like, oh, okay, this is what they like. This is what just like anything, right? Like right now, you've been doing radio for a while. You understand what listeners like.
Exactly.
You can open a station. You can do all that, and I put that blessing on you. Shanda kosahala shata in a black Cadillac. Sorry. It's my bad.
It might have happened.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, now that's exclusive, right?
Yeah. So
what I mean? So it's the same thing. So because of being in front of audiences for so many years, I was like, yo, I think I have an idea of what this is. But one thing I learned is when you're trying to get into something new, you have to be willing to be a student, right?
Exactly.
There's the saying that when you're elevating, what is the ceiling on one level becomes the floor on the next level. So you could be a master in one thing, but when you go to another level, where it's a different thing.
Say that again. When you're elevating, that's so profound.
What is the ceiling on one level, on the next level becomes the floor. That means you become a master of one thing, but when you go to the next level, you have to be willing to be a student again and be willing to learn again. So you have to go in there being willing to learn and collaborate with people who are already great at that level, so that you can learn, and you have to allow yourself to make mistakes. I've been making mistakes all throughout this process. I've been failing, I've been falling, and it's been, but that's the beauty of it. You have to push through the lessons and the failures so that you can be able to, okay, I'm getting the gist of it and everything. But the biggest thing is collaboration. That's why I mentioned, like, I had to collaborate with a lot of different producers who are already
How
great.
many producers you work on? Because we've got 10 tracks on this,
Yeah.
right? And when everybody's working on a project, there's like 70 songs, right?
Yes.
But how many producers do you work with on this?
I would say there were about 8 or 9 different producers.
Wow.
But there was like one who I spent most of the time with. Again, St. P from here, Nairobi.
Yes.
We spend the most time
So
building
he
a
was
lot
like,
of
what,
this.
executive producer or
No,
something?
I'm the executive producer of
Okay.
and then he's like the co-producer and everything.
All
And
right.
so and again, I came to learn that whether it's Quincy Jones, whether it's Dr. Dre, they do the same thing. They collaborate with other people. Like a lot of tracks Dr. Dre made was with Scott Storch and someone else.
On the keys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So everybody does that. So we try so hard to. I want to do everything myself, and you cannot, because the learning curve is going to take you forever to figure everything out. Even some of these songs when I've been in the studio, whether it's when we were doing Dimension with Bien, you have other artists in there. You got people like Benso helping out with the process. Even when we're in Rwanda doing the other song, there's different songwriters and artists who are in the studio to help you come with this thing together. Every project of your favorite artist, if you look at the credits, you notice it's like even Beyonce or Rihanna, you see it's like 7 people who wrote this song or produced this beat and everything. I'm like, the formula is already out there.
We've not even got into the mastering bit of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, why try to reinvent the wheel? Why try to do all that when you can collaborate with people and you learn from people just the same way they'll learn things from you, and everything. And, it's at the end of the day, it's about the end result. It's not about being like, I'm the one. I'm the one. You can be the one, but it takes like forever.
You're not Jet Li.
They're right. Yeah, doing stunts and everything.
You see what I did there?
Yeah.
All right, before we roll, right? This song is super high energy. Piano taking over everywhere.
Everywhere.
Literally.
Piano is the reason we went to lockdown. I'm just
Possibly.
I'm joking.
Let me tell you, like, you know how crazy it was coming from 2020 into 2021 and being in a club in Lagos or various clubs and you're like, yo, this sound emanated from elsewhere.
Crazy.
And they don't really take people's sounds.
Ever do that. Ever.
They took it and ran with it.
And it's now infused in everything they do.
Yeah.
In everything they do, man. It's amazing how the piano, movement has definitely shot up. And so, so for this record,
Niniola, super energetic.
Niniola is been known as the queen of Afro House. She's been doing amazing.
Yeah.
Funny story, I met her, I think it was 2018. So I happened to be doing my residency in Las Vegas in 2018.
Yeah.
And, Vegas is like a strip. You have one casino next to each other. So I was finishing my residency, and then Diplo had his residency like a few casinos down. And, we had a relationship because of the Major Lazer situation.
Yeah.
So I would go to his thing. And he was always asking me, even anytime they come to Africa, I'm the one who's always telling them, yo, this is what to play, whatever it is. So Niniola had that Maradona song at that time. Okay,
Maradona,
exactly.
Jeez.
So I told him this is one of them, whatever it is. And he's very experimentative, and so he's playing whatever it is, and then he played Maradona. This is in front of our all-white crowd in Vegas, at this club called XS, and he played it, and I pulled out my phone, and I was like, bro, let's make a clip, and we caught it and everything, and even he's pointing to the camera and everything, and then I tagged Niniola, and she was like, oh my God, thank you so much for this moment. And then we maintained a relationship, and then 3 months later she came to the US. She was performing at this festival called One Music Fest, and she needed a DJ, and I happened to be there
Wow.
And I played for her concert in front of whatever that audience. We maintained that relationship. She goes back, continue being talking. I was like, I'm working on this project, I need you, I love your sound, I believe in you and everything. So there was again one track we made, but then too much time passed, so we switched to another one, and then this came about.
Shoma Josie.
And then Shoma Josie, artist who have been I also love her music, love her energy. Same thing, met up, I think 3 years ago officially. This festival that was happening out there, and just networking. And
like I can for sure I can see this is such, reading it is one thing, listening to it is another, but then hearing you talk about all of the various collaborative efforts, mad.
Yes, man.
I appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
Now we're about to roll out with this one, and it's a fire tune. We're back on the radio Monday morning. I know we're about to get a whole bunch of songs from the project, and we're going to put them on rotation. And I know we're going to support you. We're just beginning, right? But what's next after this?
So I've been doing.
You can't stop here.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to stop.
Literally.
I don't know how to. I can't stop. Won't stop.
Yeah.
It's been a busy year. It's been a blessing year. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting the transition videos I've been doing. Shout out to everybody who's been coming to Passport Experience. Been an amazing world tour. We did US, Amsterdam, Europe, Australia, Dubai, and this December I'm going to be doing South Africa, Rwanda, Ghana, and finishing off in New Year's in Diani.
Yep.
So shout out to everybody who's coming to Diani New Year's 2-day festival out there.
Someone sent me a message yesterday. They're like, yo, could you do me a favor? Could you tell Fully I need a VIP ticket because they're sold out? Apparently.
Yes, the VIP tickets are sold out.
They want to pay for it, by the way. I'll talk to you on the side.
We'll talk whatever on the side. I wish I could actually do something about it.
Yeah.
Hotel rooms are sold out. So a lot of people I think are excited to come to Diana because it's been 2 years where you could properly travel.
We're not going back.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what it is. And then now with this project, like I said, I'm going to be putting out a lot more of music. I've enjoyed this. I've learned a lot from this process. What I will say is for anybody who is trying to pursue something that you're not familiar with, it's okay to fall down. It's okay to fail. It's okay to make mistakes. You just got to keep going. It's okay to feel the fear.
Yeah.
Just plunge ahead. It's okay. Everybody who have been around, all those people I mentioned, I've learned that all the most successful people, they still have fears, they still have insecurities, they still have doubts.
Yeah.
The only difference is they still do it anyway. And don't wait for everything to be perfect. Use what you have, start where you at, and remember what is the ceiling on one level is the floor on the next.
Listen, I'm focused, man.
All day, man.